The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles. And broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your host, Nicole Hutchison.
What up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio. I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Brianna Aldridge, Christy Scales, Aisha Morrison. Ladies!
What?
How y'all doing? Okay. Yep. Yeah, that works. How y'all
I'm
doing this morning?
ecstatic.
All good?
Yeah.
Doing a Nate Newton dance. Same as
Is
Nate
that Nate's
yesterday
dance?
when we
Wake
found
up!
Nah, that wasn't.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. That wasn't that dance.
I can't do what he doing.
I'm not going to try. I'm not going to try. But there's a lot to be happy about. There's a lot to dance about because the Cowboys have added some immediate help on this Dallas defense. You talk about Quinnen Williams, one of the best defensive tackles out right now, former Jet, now a Dallas Cowboy. They got him in exchange for Mazi Smith, 2027 first-round pick, 2026 second-round pick, and they made a trade with the Cincinnati Bengals, getting Logan Wilson, a true linebacker, for a 2026 seventh-round pick. Ladies, how happy are y'all?
Ecstatic, yeah.
All right. What can they bring to this Dallas defense immediately?
Well, with Quinnen Williams, he just he's a stabilizer. That's what he does. I mean, he's a guy that is going to be honored by double teams, and that's going to open up things. I think Nicole made a really good point last week in bringing up the loss of Micah Parsons and how that has affected the one-on-one matchups on the defensive line. This is a guy that is going to get the respect of that, and also too he resets the defensive line. And what I mean by that is that he's able to hold up those double teams and allow the space for linebackers to come fill, for safeties to come fill. I mean, he's a difference maker. He's also a guy that's able to get pressure as well. He's not just a kind of like an unmovable object. He's an object that can move and get upfield and then cause some penetration. I mean, this is we were talking about it offline before, is that this is not just a deal for this year. This is a deal for multiple years. So I think it's an awesome pickup for Dallas to go into next year and be able to pick up guys and put guys around him as well.
Yeah. I like what you said when you said difference maker. That's what Schottenheimer said yesterday, talking about Quinnen Williams. That's the big one out of the two names that we're going to talk about today. This is one that when I was talking to some coaches in the offseason, this is the position that's hard to hit in the draft nowadays just because of how they're playing in college and what you're expecting the transition to be once you come into the NFL. You saw that with Mazi Smith, who's no longer on the team, right? And you were hoping year after year you would see some type of trend going upward, and you didn't. This is a guy who we've been talking about. Who do the offenses come in and say, okay, we got to stop this guy. We have to fear this guy. We didn't have one. And I think, to your point, Aisha, bringing up Micah Parsons, that was a guy that offensives feared. So I think Jerry Jones got a couple more people on his side. He kind of looks like that guy, like he made a move that's actually, like you said, going to help right now. And this is someone, when you're talking about, we've been talking about Osa taking on some double teams, it looks like he's going to be,
Free.
loosened up. And
Which he needs to be as a 3-tech.
Yeah, $130 million invested in this defensive tackles through 2028. So they're taking this position seriously, as they should.
Thank you,
And
Lord.
you just hope. We needed stuff. Cowboys needed stuff on each level of that defense.
Thank you, Lord.
One step at a time, and this is a huge step, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do for this defense.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I would say that they have been taking the position seriously, but their investments have not been paying off.
You better
And that's
talk,
why Mazi Smith is headed to New York Jets. I'm sorry, but you can't have a third-year player who is a first-round pick inactive half the games this year, coach's decision, and go back further. Let me put it this way.
Oh, sure.
Cook 'em.
Listen. When Quinnen Williams was drafted third overall in the 2019 draft, 2019 draft. The glasses.
Getting real.
Who was the Cowboys' first-round pick that year?
What you said? What year?
2019. The Cowboys spent a first-round pick on defensive tackle that year. It was at the end of the first round, not number 3. Tristan Hill.
I was about to say Tristan Hill.
So the team has tried to. The Cowboys have invested in defensive linemen, and they haven't hit on it. And so the only thing I would say about the moves is when you traded Micah Parsons and you brought Kenny Clark in, you said you've improved your run game, run defense, but you really didn't. And so that necessitated the move for Quinnen Williams. But I love Quinnen Williams because of what you ladies said. I agree completely. I think the other defensive linemen should be so thrilled because they just got so much better since Quinnen's going to eat up a lot of the game planning, be the focal point, going to take on double teams. The linebackers should be thrilled. Hello. You know, Logan Wilson comes in and he's not going to know what it's like to not play behind Quinnen Williams for the Cowboys. But what I'm excited about is an elite player like Quinnen Williams he can be, if he performs to the way he has so far in his career, the rising tide that will lift all the boats.
Yeah, and also shout out to Shadi for giving the front office credit because he did say that, they were being aggressive, they were intentional, they were being smart about these moves because, like you all ladies mentioned, you don't just get them for this year, you get them for a couple of years to kind of build your defense around it. What it sounds like to me, what I got from that press conference is he'll now at least you'll get to see what Matt Eberflus truly wants to do, and that's that five-man front defensive line, 5-2 defense, and he kind of broke it down a little bit because he wants to create those one-on-ones a little bit more. So you'll have, obviously, Quinnen Williams, possibly Osa Odigizua, Kenny Clark, whoever is on the defensive end. We don't know yet who's going to be starting there. But that
Donovan.
Right.
Yep, we like
Gotta
Donovan.
be, better be.
We do like Donovan.
Hope we know.
How much do y'all like that 5 down front more than what they've already been doing?
Well, I don't think you have to use it as much.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, why did you need to use it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now that you got Quinnen, right? I mean, the whole point. When the whole point that they were talking about with the 5-man is that
You're trying to create
out.
one. Yeah, you're trying to spread it out because it's all so condensed.
Right.
I mean, I like it. I know that when we were in, don't trust training camp, but I remember in training camp, I'm scarred for life. I remember in training camp, talking to some of the guys, and they liked the idea of the 5 down and also too kind of showing and going, dropping in coverage or rushing or whatever the case may be. It also is going to open up your stunt game.
Yeah.
Because, again, because he's a guy that draws so much attention, you should be able to work off of that, free some guys up, maybe loop some guys around. Maybe Donovan is a rock who's a guy that gets involved, stuff like that. Maybe some nickel blitzes, all that stuff. So we'll see how Eberflus takes this. But I love this pickup because defensive tackle, in covering the draft, having an opportunity to cover the draft, defensive tackle is such like a niche position. And the thing about it is, like I've been saying for a while, you got to get a proven player. And if you're, and there's nothing wrong with drafting guys, because we saw Walter Nolan give our interior defensive line the business the other day.
And
his
NFL
first game back. Yeah. So every now and then you will see guys come in and have immediate impact, but it's not the norm with that position. And so I thought it was important that Dallas starts to fill some of these roles at every level on their defense with a proven person. So when you draft, because you got both of your first-round picks for next year. Come on, Jerry. I see you, dog. I see you, dog, dealing. I see you dealing. Since you still have your... I didn't know we had one as of late. But like Christy said, this pickup was important because, it kind of stabilizes your defensive line, and you can add to it now. And I just thought it was so smart, finally getting a proven player in here. Yeah. And the good teams have good defensive rotations. Yep. I see somebody talking about something. Oh, now we got to sell off Kenny Clark. Are you out your mind?
No, absolutely not.
The good teams have a rotation. And to your point, Christy, I think Quinnen Williams helps Kenny Clark not have to be out there every single play. Now, he probably is going to be out there, but at least you have enough guys to kind of rotate in and out. And so I think it was a smart pickup, and I'm excited about having a defensive tackle here in Dallas.
And by the way, one of the other guys that's part of the rotation, we said that Quinnen Williams was the 3rd overall pick in 2019. How about having the 3rd overall pick in 2017, Solomon Thomas?
Hello.
So Yeah.
No, that's gonna be fun.
Who's
A lot
been
of fun to
helpful?
watch.
I will say he did, by the way, leave the game in the fourth quarter with a calf injury and didn't return to the game Monday night against the Cardinals. So bye week is coming at a good time for a lot of players, but even some guys that haven't been talked about since Monday night who got nicked up in that game.
Yeah, hopefully the bye week, the guys can come back healthy and you can really see what this group can do. But I think it also will have a little bit more heat on Matt Eberflus because what are you going to do now that you have this personnel up front, that you were kind of spread thin and you saw them having to figure out how to come down and blitz more? And, you know, I think there's going to be questions still in the secondary, how to disguise what's going on back there. Revel's coming back, so that's exciting. Demarion Overshown, the day that Quinnen Williams is supposed to make his debut as the Dallas Cowboys. Hello. You have Logan Wilson, who's also expected to make his debut. Vegas, that's when Overshown's coming back. Like, this defense just got a little bit that more exciting because of when you're looking at all three levels of what we have in every spot. Like, there's a little bit of splash in each level now, guys. That's something that was hurting.
So you're saying your confidence is gone up a little
It's
bit.
like, I was just like, I literally, I'm not playing. I took a nap. I was like, okay, nothing's happening, whatever. I took a nap, woke up, 30 minutes of this breaking news. I woke up, I said, we did what? Because, you know, there's a lot of those, like, fake little pages and stuff that be getting on my nerves. I said, oh, my God. And all the Cowboys fans had that, like, meme where it's like, wait a minute. It's like, what?
Yeah. But you know, to your point, Bree, these are catalytic players, right? With Demo coming back, but the thing is with Logan Wilson, his numbers, just doing a deep dive on his background and some of his numbers, Sean Lee-esque in terms of catalytic plays. 11 interceptions for a linebacker, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. The forced fumbles, now this is his career, 76 games, 11 interceptions, and you say, you know, heck, I'd take that in a cornerback at this rate. And then
I'm through with her.
the 6 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 25 passes defensed, so can do some coverage. But I know we'll talk about Logan Wilson as we go on, but there's a lot to like with this player. I know he had reduced playing time this year as the Bengals were going younger at that position. But you need playmakers at each level. Yeah. And I think with Wilson and Dino coming back, have that in that mid-level there.
And both these guys are coming into better positions at the end of the day. When you're looking at the Jets, they're a dumpster fire right now. They gave away all their parts.
Oh my gosh.
The first
Gardner.
I thought that was going to be and I was like, oh man. Oh, okay.
Yeah, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, well, not gonna get Quinnen Williams. And then
To your
like,
point, I felt the other way.
Really?
When I tweeted it. I was like, when I saw that Sauce got traded, I said, oh.
As they bring it up on TV.
Yeah, because
I saw
Joseph Hoyt from the Dallas Morning News, he was like, if I'm Dallas, you know, I'm going after it. And I was like, heck yeah, immediately. And then like 30 minutes later, like you said.
Do it.
Wow. This is very uncharacteristic of Dallas, but I do think that this time, this trade deadline it was different than when some of these. I'm saying as far as these
characteristic of recent Dallas.
Okay.
No, this used to be
A thing.
This used to be the thing.
I mean, I say Wild Wild West. That means like undisciplined, and I don't mean to imply it that way. But believe me, every day that you would come into work would be like, okay,
what's gonna happen today?
Well, let me ask you something, Christy. Were you shocked when this happened yesterday?
No, I was thrilled. I was thrilled. Yeah. Okay. And that, with Quinnen Williams, the Logan Wilson, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. You know, that's good.
It didn't.
But you needed the help. You needed the help up front. The way to improve your secondary is to improve the pass rush and affecting the quarterback, and you have to do better against. I mean, it's been so bad against the run. So, I mean, a chance to maybe get some stops on third downs, that would be amazing.
It's a good course correction.
Yeah, it is.
And I agree with you, Christy, to the fact of they brought in Jackson Bourne, thought he was going to be able to, and again, we understand that he's on IR now and everything, but that didn't look the way that I think was expected. So they correct with Logan Wilson. Cool. Yeah. And then you bring in Kenny Clark. The run defense is not, it's not
It needs some help.
It needs some help. I'm not going to say
but much better with them than it would have been without.
Absolutely. So they saw this ain't enough.
Still deficient.
Yeah.
That's a right now.
I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Yes, it's a right now move, and then with Mozzie Smith, them sending him off in the trade again, it's another course correction. They had him inactive for all of most of the season at this point, and they decided this isn't working. So to me, I know that we give them a lot of crap. I know we're hard on them, but I do think this type of mentality and the decisions that they made with this are forward thinking, and I'm happy for that because the better teams in the NFL are forward thinking and proactive.
Sure.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Christy, they save a little money with Mozzie now.
Yeah, so what you do,
thanks,
so
girl.
his base salary, the half of the base salary that's due to Mozzie is picked up by the Jets. So Mozzie was due, let's see, Mozzie's base salary was actually it's pretty low this year, 1.956. Let's just round up to $2 million. So the Jets will pick up the last half of that. So right at $1 million. Let's talk about what you're taking on with Quinnen Williams. So
The money.
The Jets paid $7.85 million for the first half of the season. The Cowboys, the rest of this year, will owe him $7.825 million. Okay?
That's it?
That's it. Yeah.
I'm talking like that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You got it?
And
Nope.
then
Nope, not at all.
But you're on the hook for the base for the following
next
years. So in 2026, his base is $20.75 million, and then in 2027, $25.4 million. Is that a lot of money? Yes, but the cap goes up every year, and for one of the premier defensive tackles, that's not a lot of money. Because what happened was when he signed, Quinnen Williams signed his 4-year extension for $96 million with the Jets. That made him the second highest paid defensive tackle in NFL history. That was back in 2023 and included right under $50 million guaranteed. All those bonuses and things like that were, and roster bonuses, even heading into this year, were all picked up by the Jets.
You basically got him for, I won't say for nothing, but for a lot cheaper than you would have gotten for somebody else.
Still a lot of cap.
Yeah, and with Logan Wilson, he had signed a 4-year, $36 million contract extension with the Bengals near the same time that Quinnen signed his with the Jets back in 2023. What Logan Wilson is going to cost you this year, the rest of the way, the Cowboys, $2.684 million. The Bengals already paid that for the first half of the season, and then keep him the next 2 years. He would be $6 million in base. Next year, $6.66 million in base in 2027. So affordable for a starter.
Yeah, still a lot of capital to go, but this is someone who they wanted
Absolutely.
before. That didn't work in the beginning in this offseason. That's someone that Jerry was looking at targeting, and the Jets, you got Aaron coming up there. They're rebuilding, and obviously the rebuilding didn't work, and it's working out in our favor. So
yeah, and what you're paying Kenny Clark, what you're paying Quinnen Williams, and you could even throw in Logan Wilson. That's what Micah was going to cost.
Yeah, I mean, they flipped it and reversed it.
I like it.
Yeah,
That's Uno.
to have to, I mean, really, the trade, like the picks, the pick compensation, the way they worked it, I thought was awesome. And also, too, I'm going to keep it a bill. Y'all Cowboys haven't really drafted well, except for Donovan Ezra-Who seems like he's working out. But in the second round, it's been So just
take a swing.
You don't think about it. You ain't even got to think about the second round. Leave that second round alone. Don't even look over there.
Okay.
Because
We're going to look at the second segment. We're going to take our first break here on Girls
nice
Talk, Boys
segue.
Talk, and talk about some Logan Wilson after the break.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
How does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for us. If the men in your life bleed blue and silver like we do, I've found the perfect way to elevate their game day rituals. Gillette just released their best razor in Cowboys colors, and it is everything a Cowboys fan could want. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor combines his Cowboys pride with Gillette's best shave. And with 50% longer lasting blades, it is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's best shave is also available as heated.
Celebrate the season at Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza, powered by Reliant at the Star in Frisco. Join us every Friday and Saturday night from November 21st to December 20th for an electrifying holiday performance. For details, visit thestardistrict.com.
Welcome back into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. Nicole Hutchison, Brianna Aldridge, Christy Scales, Aisha Morrison, and ladies, we got another player to talk about, Logan Wilson, who the Cowboys picked up via trade yesterday. How valuable is a Logan Wilson to this defense that is struggling really bad at that linebacker position? Real bad.
Yeah, so that's funny.
You just get another veteran in there. I think Kenneth Murray, unfortunately, has not played up to the expectations I think they had. Obviously, Jack Sanborn goes on to IR. This is probably the most instinctual player that is on that second level. It allows a guy like Shamar James, DeMariano Rashone, to kind of, and maybe Marius Leofold, I don't know what's going on there, but I'm not going to go there, to have some time to fit into this scheme. And I just think, like right now, none of your linebackers can cover, and people have been killing you with that. You get a little bit more of a coverage ability with Logan Wilson. And I want to say, I know a lot of people are like, well, he was benched when he was with the Bengals. They just were going younger, which happens. Yeah, we see it happen in the NFL all the time, is that a team drafts another guy, young guy, and they want to, and that's probably why they were willing to let him go, is because they're trying to get younger at the position. It doesn't mean that the guy still can't play. So I just think you just get a guy that's really tough, very, very physical. He got a lot of attitude, plays with some instincts, and I think, again, he's going to allow those young guys to have some buffer to develop and learn the position. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, both these defense, Cowboys and Bengals, they're pretty much at the bottom together, chilling. So I think that's where a lot of the criticism came from Logan Wilson. You're looking at this veteran piece, but then you're seeing he's sitting the bench. I really liked how he answered his questions about, they seemed genuine about sitting behind some of, the rookies and being able to support them. But he did ask for a trade. He wanted out. He wanted a fresh start. So I think he's getting that. So going back to Quinnen Williams, you could see, he's had 7 losing seasons. Like, he's a premier player, and he hasn't been able to see the upside of winning and what it's like now. Even though the Cowboys, we know there's some droughts there in the postseason, but they've had success here, and they have had winning seasons when you're talking about the regular seasons, anything like that. But Logan Wilson, you can only go up at this point for what we have seen from all the linebackers. You mentioned Sanborn last segment. He was supposed to be the veteran piece and the leader, the green dot. It wasn't working out. Kenneth Murray, not to take so much away from him, I know he doesn't seem like he can be the person to direct traffic in the linebacker group. And I think
that's a great way to put it.
That's the part. I think it was just a little bit too much on his plate. Shamar James is someone who I like, but I do think having him in there too much exposes some of the mental lapse that comes with the rookie. So I think this comes in, and maybe you do see some packages with Logan Wilson and Kenneth Murray where you see Kenneth Murray. He has had some decent games, because I remember us talking about, did you see Kenneth come down and make these tackles? But then when he had to get in the green dot, you started to see a little bit digress. So I think this actually will help a Kenneth Murray. And then I like the thinking about Demarion Overshown coming in there. What does that look like with Logan Wilson in there and a Shamar James in there, who's not gonna have probably as many reps as you were seeing before. So I think he just makes the whole group stronger.
Yeah, because he'll be kind of like the communicator, the traffic cop, kind of directing everything there. And so I think intangibles at that position in particular are very important. And here's a guy who, a team captain for Cincinnati. By the way, Quinnen Williams is a captain for the Jets as well. So you're getting high character guys, football-loving guys coming to the team. So that's important. But Wilson was a guy, he's from Wyoming, grew up there, played college football there, was a captain as an underclassman there in college. But I want to go back to what I was talking about with the catalytic plays. It's not just Wilson's ability to make some big-time plays, and I'll talk about a couple in particular, but by taking on a lot of those responsibilities, it's freeing up the demos, right, to do that, or Shamar or Marist, because Marist can make these catalytic plays, but we just hadn't seen it as much this year. But it just seems like what stood out to me was there were a couple of really huge plays that I remember that the Bengals defense made during their recent playoff runs, right? The Joe Burrow era and all the focus on the, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Joe Burrow, and rightfully so. But back in 2021, when the Bengals got their first road playoff win in that franchise's history, it was Logan Wilson that had the interception that set up that game-winning field goal, right, at the end. And then they had a wild card win over Baltimore, and that was, I think a lot of people considered that an upset win. And it was Logan Wilson who forced the fumble at the 2-yard line. That teammate Sam Hubbard picked up and ran 98 yards for a touchdown. So I use the term catalytic for these game-changing plays because it's something that Bill Parcells talked about. He would talk about catalytic players and catalytic plays. So kind of an old-school term there, but I think it's one that really describes this player.
Yeah, you're getting a guy that can cover, a guy that obviously had 4 seasons of 100-plus tackles. And also one thing that I wrote down is he is the 3rd highest pass rush grade of linebackers in 2025. That's per PFF. So he can do it all. Not that you're going to probably need him to do that because you just brought in a guy who, should help that. But when you talk about, obviously getting comfortable now in a Matt Eberflus system coming from another system, do you guys have any concerns there with those two guys getting adjusted? No? Yes?
Well, it is lucky timing for the bye in terms of Cowboys with it trade deadline, so it'll be, can't even say in their playbook anymore, everything on the pad. But, they can meet with the coaches and try and catch up cerebrally, right? But won't get to be on the field. I mean, they won't even really meet their teammates, get to be in the locker room with them until next week because today is Wednesday and players will be off till next week.
That's fair. When you look at this Dallas defense, they rank near the bottom in almost every statistical category. When you think about one area where Wilson can come in and immediately fix, what is that?
Communication.
Okay.
And that's half of it. I mean, I don't know how many times you see on film guys like pushing the other guy into his gap or, trying to communicate right at the snap. And I just think, like you ladies were saying, is that he helps with the communication. He helps with stabilizing that level of the defense. And again, the instincts. So many times this past week, you watched it, they ate you up in the flats, killed you in the flats because they knew that your linebackers would be slow to recognize, and they took advantage of that. And hopefully guys are just in their spots faster. Then if you get in your spot faster, then some of these plays can be avoided. So for me, so for me, I think that just his instincts kind of just help hopefully will help this second level be a tick faster, because there's also times where the defensive tackles are holding, but the linebackers are late to fill. So hopefully these guys are just a little bit quicker to the punch, and I think that's going to help the second level overall.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that I think what I was going to say kind of fit into the communication part, because it's just he's a guy who knows where to be. And although this is a new playbook for him, he's done this before. He's been at the biggest stage before. He knows what it takes. It's the bye week. Quinnen Williams, if I'm not mistaken, the Jets, he's going to have a double bye week, so he's going to be very much well-rested coming into this. But, again, what we've seen is like, and what we talked about, these were some guys who had success last season, who've had success in the past. They didn't just forget how to play the game. And Marist is someone who I'm like, because I had so much, uptick. And he's made some very good plays. I know overrunning the ball is something that he has to do. And just being in the wrong spot, even last week's play, the big 50-yard pass, I'm like, I see 4 dudes and one guy in the middle. Like, what is going on? And it just feels like the linebackers continuously are in the wrong spots, getting sucked in. You got your DBs are playing a little bit too much off the ball. And I think Logan Wilson coming in, to your point, the communication and just literally being in the right spot. I don't think he's the fastest guy in the world, but him just being in the right spot and making sure the guys next to him over communicating is going to help.
Why are, Christy, in what scenario would Kenny Clark be released? Would it be for financials, or would it be for...
They're talking about financials.
Yeah, let me look at his numbers on that.
Because I'm about to throw up.
Wait,
he is
somebody said that on
getting
Twitter?
next. It would be next season.
It's a conversation of what the defensive tackle room will look like. It says Quinnen Williams, Oso Digizua, Solomon Thomas. Another guy we're forgetting, Perion Winfrey.
Oh, yeah.
Who I think is going to be a handful for some. Like, I mean, we saw him in preseason, but we saw him against... the Dallas starters, and can't trust the training camp. No.
Yeah, don't do it.
But Perion Winfrey is a guy that if he does come in and play well, that's a big addition as well. That's a big boost for you as well. And then obviously you drafted Jay Toia in the 7th round. This is, again, like we talked about, this is another opportunity for a young guy to get in his man body, learn the position a little bit more, get some teaching behind some veteran guys. But the Kenny Clark thing is interesting to me, because I would like for Dallas to have, again, a good rotation as they possibly can there. Keep those guys fresh. They're not known for having high motors. Keep those guys fresh. And if it's okay, like, hear me out. I know it's been weird. Your ends have been your strength for a long time. Yeah. What if you switch it?
Yeah.
And not that your ends will be weak, but we know teams that have good defensive interior play, and their edge play is not just stellar, but it balances out because it opens up so much for you. So I'm hoping that maybe that's what happens here. But the Kenny Clark thing is interesting to me.
Yeah, so
I'm scared.
His base next year is $8.8 million, but he's due an $11 million roster bonus. He gets a workout bonus of $700,000. His cap hit would be $21.5 million, and then in 2027 it would be a $20 million cap hit, $18.5
So they got to
million
restructure.
base.
It's going to be a lot of restructuring.
So they got to restructure him.
Well,
if he wants to stay.
Others.
Yeah, I think the thing about it is that there's an out in the contract where you wouldn't have to eat money. So I think that's part of the conversation of you wouldn't get hit with dead money if you decide to go a different direction. But there's one. I'm glad you guys mentioned Perion Winfrey, because here's kind of a fun fact. He was teammates. He played along the line with Quinnen Williams and Solomon Thomas.
That's awesome.
They were all 3 of those guys were together. They're with the Jets, which is fun and interesting.
Cousin.
And,
It reminds me of that SpongeBob song, Best Day Ever. Yeah,
I don't.
It's fine.
I watch more like family.
Cool. It's cool.
We at the family reunion.
That works too. I like that one too. All right, we're going to take our second break here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk. Be right back.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
How does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for us. If the men in your life bleed blue and silver like we do, I've found the perfect way to elevate their game day rituals. Gillette just released their best razor in Cowboys colors, and it is everything a Cowboys fan could want. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor combines his Cowboys pride with Gillette's best shave. And with 50% longer lasting blades, it is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's best shave is also available as heated.
The countdown to game day starts with Rally Days presented by SeatGeek. Join us as we honor our veterans in partnership with the Wounded Warrior Project on Saturday, November 22nd. Compete in the ROTC relay races, shop veteran-owned vendors, and enjoy a performance by Lacey K. Booth. Meet the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and alumni and more. Get your tickets for Rally Day at AT&TStadium.com/rallydays.
Wake up! I ain't done that all show, y'all.
Didn't.
That one hurt.
Did it?
I'm sick.
It was a good one, though. It was a good one.
Did it really hurt? Pop.
It was a little painful.
What did you just do?
Oh, I popped.
Oh.
Just like, okay.
Okay.
And we're back.
We're back. Love that. All right. Nicole Hutchinson, Brianna Aldridge, Christy Scales, Aisha Morrison, and ladies, I know. Well, let's throw to you, Christy. You had an awesome story about Quinnen Williams. What you got?
Yeah, just, I think character is developed early in life and sometimes in most formative years, right? Junior high, high school. And Quinnen Williams, I had read a little bit of a story and thought I remembered it, so I went back and looked at it again last night. We know that Quinnen played alongside his older brother Quincy, the linebacker, right, with the Jets. But anyway, he's one of 4 children, and Quinnen and Quincy and the siblings, they lost their mother to breast cancer when Quinnen was just 12 years old. She had been a 5-year breast cancer survivor and had been in remission for a long time, and then it came back, and it was when Quinnen was, junior high age, basically. He has a tattoo on his chest that he got when he was in 8th grade, and it's to honor his mom. So it's got, the pink stars and the symbol, like a pink ribbon and the like. But this is a kid to, now that the dad is trying to raise 4 kids by himself, and so Quinnen would wake up early every morning and cook breakfast, right? So that his dad wouldn't have to. And so Quinnen and Quincy, the siblings, they all took on various responsibilities. And so I just think that facing tragedy and horrible adversity in junior high years, a lot of my friends are teachers. I thought I was going to be a teacher, and they'll tell you that that junior high period, that's kind of like the toughest for kids a lot of times. And think of all the extra responsibilities that he had. So it's kind of like Dak Prescott and the way that he was changed by his mother's death from cancer when Dak was at Mississippi State. He came in here. Some people are old souls, and we haven't had a chance to talk to Quinnen yet, but it forms you moving forward. So you read about, it's not a surprise to know that he was one of the captains, right? College, and the success that he had immediately at Alabama. Yeah. And taken on leadership roles when he was with the Jets. It's not just because he was a first-round pick and a lot was expected, but just of who he is. So I think that it'll be really cool because next October, he'll probably be one of the guys out front in terms of the things with the initiatives in community service for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Susan G. Komen Foundation, by the way, was founded here in Dallas. So I think there's a lot to look forward to what he brings not only to the team on the field, but in the locker room and in the community.
Yeah, and you don't ever hear anything negative about him.
No,
That's
jolly,
awesome.
Literally never have.
jolly, happy,
Yeah.
hugging everybody
bear.
kind of thing
That's
is
dope.
what
He's
you
a big
always
teddy
heard.
bear.
He looking like
about
a bear.
you would read about him.
Like a teddy. But also too that's a
I say that not
that's
to
an
bring down
amazing
the
story.
room. I'm just telling
No,
you
that's an amazing story.
that these guys, you think that they're first round picks, they have all this money, they were stars at Alabama and won national championships, and man, they got it. They've had it handed to them their whole life. No, there are some tremendous stories in this locker room and guys who have overcome so much that you don't hear about. And the fact that NFL, they play under a helmet and under pads. And unlike basketball where you know everyone more freely because you see them and you recognize them because they're not covered by a helmet. But there are a lot of really great human interest stories on this team. And I think he's going to walk in and be one of those.
I love that. I do want to ask you ladies before we do go, I'll start with the linebacker position. Who does this put on notice, this Logan Wilson trade?
Immediately, Kenneth Murray.
Sure.
Poor Kenny.
Not poor Kenny.
I like him. But like I said, I saw him start off kind of slow, make some progress, and then when he was asked to take on a bigger role, it just hasn't worked out. Logan Wilson, as soon as he learns his playbook, which I feel like I have faith that he will be in that position come Monday night with this bye week happening. But I think it's going to be Kenneth Murray. I do think there are, despite I know the Kenneth Murray train has gone down a little bit. But again, I did see some good things he was able to do and coming down and, helping in the run game and getting those tackles. He had some flashes now, and I think limiting his reps and putting him in some certain packages with a Logan Wilson can be beneficial. But I think he's the one that when you're looking at all the young guys and whose athletic ability and when Shamar James get into a rhythm, when Maris gets into a rhythm, I think he's the guy that kind of leaves my mind.
Yeah, to your point, not every linebacker can play every linebacker spot. Not everybody's a strong. Everybody's a will. So he can go back to his regular spot and be comfortable there. I'm going to say this, and it sounds weird, but when we did the draft show and the linebacker coach at that time came in, he told us that they were looking at Maris Leofau to be the Mike.
I do remember that.
Because that was what he was known for. It's the communication, the instincts, obviously a little out of control at times, but they thought that that's something they could harness. I do think them having to continue to add to this room, despite the fact that, it's different schemes and stuff like that, we are going to get to a point to where you're looking at where does Maris fit in this linebacker room? Because, again, I intended you to be what I just brought. I brought in two gentlemen in here to be. And I know it's a lot to ask. I know he's still young. I know he's still developing. What I will say is that I don't know if he's on notice like Murray, but I do think that him coming, that there does need to be some real clear showing of development in this latter part of the year because you got to start seeing something from him as a linebacker. Special teams, he's going to get after it.
Sure,
I think he's one of your best guys in punt return. I think he's one of your best gunners. He's fantastic. But he was drafted to be a part of this core defense, and I really want to see him and DeMarvion Overshown together as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they've made him earn it up until this point, to be fair. Like, from us, from this standpoint, and from the outside, you thought it was a guy who's kind of automatically going, and he wasn't.
And no.
And week after week, giving him, literally 3 more snaps, 4 more snaps. And I'm sure that has a lot to do with Matt Eberflus sees, and he sees things that we don't. But it seems like this is something that it's going to continuously have to be proven to get that trust with Eberflus.
It's trust.
I think there's a little bit more grace, though, that comes with Maris Leofau, just because, one, he is still young and he's still growing and developing, and you saw what he was able to do behind an Eric Kendricks, right? So I think they are giving him a little bit more grace. My person was probably and I say this lightly because we do love Damone Clark over here, but we hadn't really seen him in this scheme at all.
Oh, I don't.
No, he's been active the past few weeks, but played only teams.
Exactly.
He was on,
and that's
this year.
Yeah.
I think he got his notice already.
Yeah.
Well, when he get it.
But when you have guys, stop. But when you have guys like a Jack Sanborn, he is on IR. He's still a vet. He's still Eberflus's guy. Kenneth Murray, granted, he has not played his best ball. I think they're giving him a little bit more grace as well. Granted, because he is a proven vet. But I'm gonna stick with Demo.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing about Sanborn and Murray, Sanborn, when he came in, he signed just a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
And then Murray was a trade, so you pick up the contract from the Titans, and this is the second of his 2-year deal with the Titans, so he's free after this year too. So, yeah.
It's getting ugly.
Just fix it, Lord.
Anybody, we don't care who it is.
I don't care.
But here's the thing, we hear all the time that it's, competing for time on the practice field, and in the past sometimes you'd think, it's lip service, because these guys are set. Hey, now, wow,
yeah,
you better turn it up every day at practice if you're gonna get on the field.
I like
That's
it.
fair. I like it though.
The energy, like, hey, if you ain't getting it done, we'll get somebody else to do it. And even with the defensive end rotation this week, they said, hey, y'all ain't getting it done. It's going to be Clowney and Izaraku. And I personally, I know it wasn't pretty the whole time. Those gentlemen played the run better than we've seen any edges be playing the run all year.
Clowney's
they
got
contain,
the dust off officially.
Yeah, absolutely.
That tape showed that he got the dust
Yes,
off.
so I feel like it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
This is not necessarily as long as they show progress as the season goes on. After the bye, let's turn up. Let's try to, I know I don't want to talk about playoffs, but more so just build some confidence.
Yeah.
Build some confidence, build some rapport. Get some wins, get a feel for what you want your team to feel like. So when you go into the draft and stuff next year, you know what's up. Hey. You got a plan.
Yeah.
You know how Bree was talking about Clowney just knocked the dust off?
I liked it.
Well, let's hope the Cowboys as a team knock the dust off. And
I hope so.
It's losing dust because we don't want that no more.
I wish they had one more win.
We don't want that. It's fine. We're going to claim it.
Yeah, they could have got that win.
They should have. It's fine. But that's a wrap for today's show. We'll be back here tomorrow. Wow, we won't be back here tomorrow.
We sure ain't.
Chris was joking. I just lied. We ain't going to be back here tomorrow. Y'all going to be back here tomorrow on that show, but we not. We'll be back here on Monday at 8 a.m. But that's a wrap. Happy bye week, guys. For Brianna Aldridge, Christy Scales, Aisha Morrison, I'm Nicole Hutchison. See y'all back here next week.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this?